Hey family, what is going on? You know what time it is. You're tuned in to another episode of Living Outside the Box. Y'all know my motto, I don't subscribe to any lane, and that's simply because God gave me a lot of gifts and a lot of talents, and so I'm using all of them to the max. So tonight I have with me one of my brothers. I am so excited to bring him on with me. We are in the beginning stages of starting up this dope company. You guys will get to hear a lot more about it in the next coming months. Extreme Athletics 7. And I'm going to bring on with me Rashawn Kelly.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, bro?
I'm excited. Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So you are a fellow Winston-Salem State Ram?
I am. I got 1 year left. I'm working on it.
Okay. So tonight, just introduce yourself to my audience. Let them know a little bit about yourself.
Okay, first of all, I'm sorry. I wanted to apologize for being a little rough today. As y'all can see, I got my little man bun going on. But other than that, I am definitely a student at Winston-Salem State University. I'm a fine arts major, so that's what I'm going to school for, the arts. And it just entitles a lot of different things. So that's very cool. And I also have experience. I took a 3-year gap from college. And during that time, I focused a lot on my charity work, stuff like that. So during that time, I flew over to Jamaica. I was able to feed the homeless over there, work with the local.
Wait. Stop that.
Yeah.
Now, you are Jamaican.
I am.
You are Jamaican.
Yes,
but you said that you had a chance to go to Jamaica and do what?
So when I got to Jamaica, the plan was I wanted to do something for Jamaica because I love helping and I wanted to help here with the local minority children here, but I also wanted to do it in Jamaica. Right. So what I did was I linked up with the local gospel artist, Sister Sasha, and she was formerly known as Sasha, and she did a song with Sean Paul, I'm Still in Love, for those of you who know that song. Yep, and she turned into a gospel artist now. So I went over there and I worked with her, partnered with her to do kind of like a back to school thing. So we bought book bags for them. We bought all these things through the organization Tgt Outreach, which I work very closely with to send kids to camp. And actually here in our state, I also was able to send 9 kids to summer camp. And that was in 2019. Yeah. So that was a really great opportunity. It was fun.
So wait, I didn't even know all of this about you.
Yeah.
I didn't know you was out in the community doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Absolutely. The youth is very important because if people don't understand, the youth is what's going to take over after us. So
that's true.
You have to invest your time. So yeah, that's what a lot of youth things I do. I'm still mentoring to this day, and I love the kids I mentor. They're amazing.
That's awesome. So what do you go to Winston-Salem State for again?
I go for arts. So I basically am an art major. Mm-hmm. But my main focus is like graphic design.
That's where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So as you know, and even a lot of those in my audience, graphic design is something that I actually got into within the last year to 2 years. It started as me volunteering at my previous church, working, volunteering, helping out in media production. And I actually grown to like it. And I've always been very creative. I never thought that this would actually be the direction that I went in. For some reason, social media seemed to tower over. Yeah. But tell us a little bit about your graphic design background.
So for me, it kind of started off as like a hobby. And I think for a lot of art people and creative people, a lot of things can start off as a hobby that you want to further develop. So I was already in high school doing things like choir, art, poetry club, stuff like that. So when I decided to when I graduated, I didn't decide to. It wasn't an option in my house. That was not an option. But anyway, when I graduated high school and I went to college, I was already wanting to be in the arts. So I signed up to be an art major, but I started at community college. And there I was not focusing in graphic design. I was focusing in vocals. So I had to learn songs in like Italian. I had to learn like opera songs. I had to learn so many different things. It was just a lot. And I enjoyed it. And see, I'm a procrastinator. Let me tell y'all not to be a procrastinator, because I was a procrastinator.
Wait. But I think that's a good point that you bring up, because procrastination, that's really, really good. 99% of the time when I talk to people who are creatives, people who are visionaries, people who love arts and fine arts, that is one of the common things is that we struggle with procrastination. It's a thing. And we have to be in those spaces of our creativity in order for it to just flow. So the procrastination, I believe, comes with when we have those spaces like, I'm not feeling really creative right now, I'm procrastinating to get this done, versus just going ahead and doing it. So that's good that you brought up procrastination.
And when you're creative, it's like your mind is in 10 different places. You want to do 10 different things. So it's kind of hard to focus in on one thing. So it's just like just the life of a creative. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You know? So but I ended up getting pulled into it just because it was a hobby. And then I eventually went to school for it. And I was like, wow, this is kind of dope. But I was in the wrong part of art. I was in singing. And I love singing, but I realized that it wasn't what I loved the most.
So you can sing?
I can sing a little bit. But I realized it wasn't my thing. So
so you're not like no hidden like Usher or something like that.
No. I can hold a note. That's what I tell people. I can hold a note and I let other people be the judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it goes back to you're a lot more confident in your graphic design.
Exactly. Yeah, I love, but the process of music is very complicated. First, you have to get a beat. Beats cost hundreds of dollars. Then you have to get enough beats to do an EP. Then you got to pay the graphic designer to create your EP album cover or whatever you want. Then you got to pay for studio time. Then when you get in the studio, if it doesn't work out, you have to go back in the studio and fix it. So, and then sometimes you get an engineer that's not necessarily doing their job. So you have to find the right engineer, because some engineers want to take a smoke break every 5 seconds. So yeah, it's just a whole process. And I can't even tell you about like what it is for female rappers, female artists, because even going with my cousin, and she's also an artist, and her name is Shay Chin. But even going with her, there was so much obstacles that she had to face as a female, especially when she's trying to work. And these men who are taking advantage of their position, and they're trying to start a relationship, but that's not what she's looking for. She's looking for an engineer to record her song. Right. That's what she came here for. So when women say they be going through some stuff, they ain't lying. They ain't lying. Female artists listen to them, they ain't lying. They really not.
So it sounds like to me you are truly like living outside the box in art, though. You are very creative in many ways. However, graphics is what stuck.
Yeah, that's what stuck for me. Yeah, absolutely.
So can you, because you can better explain actually, even to our audience, what Extreme Athletics 7 is kind of about. I mean, we're not going to go deep into it because we don't have the whole team with us. Right. But can you kind of give them a gist of your role for Extreme Athletics 7, and then kind of what the vision is?
Okay, so Extreme Athletics 7 is basically an organization that has come together, and it's made up of multiple people to create a team. And what our team does is that we will meet with you if you are an athlete or if you're trying to do any commercial work or anything of that nature. And we will make a customized packaging. And with that customized packaging, what we're going to do is we're going to have an initial meeting where we'll sit down, we'll work with your budget, figure out what you can and can't get with that budget. And we'll figure out stuff like, okay, do you need highlight videos to send to recruiters and things like that, people who are scouts? Do you need advertising, marketing? Do you need this? Do you need that? And we'll work with your social medias. We'll work with getting you highlight videos. We'll work with getting you into showcases and things of that nature. So we're basically here to help you get to the next step if you are willing to take your career seriously and what you want to do seriously as an athlete. And what I do is I am a film and editing guy. That's what I do. I go out there. So if you're getting a highlight video made, I'll be out there. I'll have the cameras. I will be following every movement. If you running down that field, I'm running after you with that camera. And I'm just getting all the footage that I can get. And then I take that and I work on it and I edit it to perfection as best as I can. And I work with somebody else who's also film and director. And then we have a special effects guy on our team as well. So we're going to get you the best. You're definitely going to get the best. Yes.
So let's wheel it back some and talk about, because I think this is kind of hilarious, about, when you meet people, especially in the creative field, graphic designing, all that kind of stuff, initial reactions to what certain people do always seem to amaze me. And I think for me, it's because I'm still new, walking into this. So although it's something that I'm passionate about, something that's been in me for a long time, just now getting like fully into it, it's always amazing to me to hear what other people do and what other people have accomplished. So I want to talk about my first encounter with you and the other guys. And then I want you to flip that and give me your perspective on once I started speaking in some of the meetings and your take on that. So
definitely be brutally honest now.
Yeah, I want you to be brutally honest.
Okay.
So my first take on you guys walking in, first of all, I did not know what everybody did. So I was kind of walking into it blind. Like I knew what the vision was for the company, but I really didn't know like what role everybody played. So then when you guys started talking, literally, if I could say I jumped out of my skin, Because first, initially, like anybody else, I would think anybody else who's human, again, like I said, I'm just now getting into this. So immediately intimidation set in.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in this room. It's a bunch of guys. Granted, Cleo was in the room with me. But as far as doing the same things that we're doing, I'm like, a bunch of guys. They sound like they've been doing this a long time. And yeah, I don't know what I could offer them. But at the same time, once I got past that, I was like, okay, I can learn a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can take away, this can be a learning process for me where I can gain a lot of knowledge amongst all of you in your different areas. So when you said, oh, you do editing, I'm horrible at that. I mean, I do what I can do.
I mean, you doing your thing. I mean,
but you can always be better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so even when you guys started talking about different software and all of that stuff, I'm like, I'm sitting here straight clueless. I've been making videos, editing, captions, music, all of that stuff has been on an iPhone.
Right.
It has not been until like June of last year that I started trying to do things on my actual Mac. So I was like, oh my God, why am I sitting in this room? Cleo did not tell me. That was the first thing that came to my mind. She did not tell me who was going to be sitting at the table. Right. So I did. I walked in intimidated. and I think even for me, like I told you guys before, when you guys surprised me for my birthday, that was so huge because again, I'm walking into this feeling intimidated. Like,
Right.
wait a minute, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that was dope. So on your end, what was your first impression of once I begin to start talking and kind of explaining all that I could do and what I was willing to bring to the table?
I think like very first thing is like the mindset of the person. So for me, when I first came in, the way that I am in real life is like art is not just an expression, but it's also a release for me. So sometimes when it is too stressful in the real world, so to speak, for lack of a better word, what I revert to is art because it gives me time to just do my creativity and release my process. So that was how I was prior to going into the meeting that we first had. So
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, like at the beginning, I was hearing what everybody was saying and what we're going to form, but at the same time, I have to see it to believe it. So
Yeah.
I'm always going to be a little bit skeptical. So when I first came in the meeting, I was kind of like, okay, let me just ease in, because how I got into it was DT was doing it with Anthony,
Yeah.
and they were working together to basically to form it. And then Jelani got involved, and Jelani's actually the one who called me and told me about it. Yeah.
Oh,
So Jelani called me, told me
that's
about
interesting
yeah,
though,
yeah,
because your dedication, and not to say that the other guys are not dedicated,
right, right,
but you can tell where your passions lie and
right.
how focus driven you are. And so when you say that you're committed to something, you're straight committed to it. So that's
Absolutely.
interesting to know that you kind of were like called in last out of
Last, yeah,
the three of
yeah.
you guys.
Yeah, so I was last. I got in there, and the very first time that they called me, they were already filming. And so when they
Oh,
called me, I just had to. They just said, "This is when the film is gonna be. This is the time. See you there." So I just had to show up, and I just
okay.
kind of worked my way in. So when we first had the meeting, we had done like one job, and then they were telling me that they were bringing in you, and they were bringing in Cleo, and what you were going to do basically is do the marketing and advertising when we customize packages for people. That's what your job was going to be. So
Yeah.
when you came in, if you was nervous, I didn't realize it because you didn't seem nervous. You seemed like
Uh,
you had everything down packed and that you knew what you was doing. So when you came in, I was like, oh, she got it. We good. So I was excited. And I think what they're trying to do is like form a family, which I feel like we've done a good job with doing.
right. Yes. Yes.
Celebrating each other's birthdays, having movie nights for people's birthday. Like
Yes.
we've been doing pretty decent. I'm excited to see where we're gonna go. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't
It's
have a bad
pretty dope.
impression. You seemed like you knew what you was doing. So you fooled
Absolutely
me
not.
if you didn't. Right.
Like I knew that I would like, and that's what a lot. I was like, oh, I'll do their social media because that's what I chalked it up to is social
Right.
media. But then when you start to think about again how we were talking before about like the logistics of things, and I was like, oh no, I really am doing a lot of marketing, strategizing, and
Right.
this, that, and the third. Granted, it's social media, but that's typically you can take my outline and take it to TV or take it to newspaper
Right.
or whatever the case may be. So but that's interesting because I did not know the backstory of how everything kind of came
Absolutely.
together.
Yeah.
Especially because we were kind of just put in it, and I was like, of course, anytime Cleo or DT say, hey, I need you for something, I'm always there. So that goes without saying. Like,
Right.
whatever you need, I'm there, especially if it's something that I like to do. And that is something that I'm passionate about. So I was like, of course, like you gonna pay me to do what I already, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
But I think it's dope what we are building, like you said, and just like the atmosphere of family. I think that's what will help things be very cohesive. And so I am excited about that. But you yourself, you do your own business. even outside of that, like we all have our own thing, but you have your own business outside of that. So talk about that.
I got a few things going on. Like I said, as a creative, my mind is here, there, everywhere. Like I can't help it. I just can't help it. My mind just is racing at 100. And so for me, one of my businesses that I'm actually starting up is it's a podcast. And the podcast will be me, and then I'll be co-hosting it with the recording artist Shay Chin, SHAECHIN, if y'all want to look her up on YouTube or anything like that. We are going to basically be talking about a whole range of topics. We're going to get personal. We're going to talk about a lot of things. So that's one thing I got going on, and that's going to drop sometime mid-April. Okay. And then I also have, before we became a group, I was doing my own thing called Red Kelly Productions. And with Red Kelly Productions, I actually got to do a lot of things. I got to film the City Girls. Of course, JT was in prison at the time, but I got to record one half of the City Girls. Yeah.
We might have lost you. Hold on one second. Oh, we lost you for a second. You were saying you were talking about the Red Kelly Productions.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, I do Red Kelly Productions on the side. And during those few years that I took off of college, I was recording in a lot of different like clubs and things, recording artists like Young Dolph, the City Girls, Quando Rondo. I actually am fortunate because I got to film Nipsey Hussle performing before he died. So that was really dope.
Wait a minute. Yeah. You out here making moves and you just be real calm, cool, and collective.
Absolutely. Because most of the people were doing it. Yeah. And it was really dope. Like I really had some dope opportunities. So I was doing a lot. But yeah, I'm excited to be a part of this team.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, and do you have anything coming? I know you said the podcast, and then of course, do you have anything with the Red Kelly Productions that's coming up?
I just did a short film about a month ago that I dropped because I want to tap more into doing short films. So I'm actually looking up to do kind of like a sequel to the short film that I did. It was a silent film and it was short. It was maybe about 10, 12 minutes or so. But I'm looking to do a sequel to that, but I kind of haven't decided. So right now, while we're starting this business, I kind of put Red Kelly Productions on the back burner. Mm-hmm. But if you want to stay tuned and see what I have next, you can definitely go follow Red Kelly Productions on Instagram to hear any updates on when I will be dropping new stuff and new content. But
that's awesome. And it's Red Kelly.
Yep. REDKELLY PRODUCTIONS. Red Kelly Productions.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm. And I like the because what with my focus in school being film and TV, at some point I know that I'm gonna have to do like a short film or a TV show or something like that. So I'm definitely gonna be calling on you like, hey, I need your help.
Look, I got you. I will point you in the right direction. And then people don't realize, like, people hear what I do and they think that I've been like doing this for 10 plus years. No, I'm just starting off like everybody else. I'm a college student, just grabbing my camera, going outside and trying different things. And it really, really does take you places and get you to meet new people, and they give you advice. And so you learn a lot. So if you just want to pick up your camera and go outside and do something, do it.
You said you met you filmed the late Nipsey Hussle. So
yeah,
you definitely done encountered some great opportunities, and you definitely did not share none of that. Like you didn't share none of that. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, because a lot of times they say when you work in the industry and stuff like that, you're supposed to be able to like hold certain stuff together. You're not supposed to tell certain things, but you definitely like kept folks out the loop. When we went around the table and everybody had to talk about, what they did, what they was bringing to the table, you left a whole lot of stuff out.
Yeah, I tend to let my work speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? I gotta reflect through my work, not through my words. A lot of people want to use their words, and their words kind of set them up. I like to finish a product, put it out, and then just let it do what it's gonna do. Whatever blessings come my way, let it happen. And what I will say, I just want to shout out Nipsey Hussle real quick, because I think he was a stand-up guy. From just filming him, you could tell that he was there to perform because he loved his music. But at the same time, it seemed kind of obvious to me that he was ready to get home and get back to his wife and his kids and his
Right.
family. So he seemed like a pretty stand-up guy from just that few moments that I got to see him perform. So shout out to Nipsey. You know,
That's dope. That's super, super dope. And I did not know that. I think that was really cool. And you have been fortunate, not even out of college yet, been given a lot of opportunities that I would definitely say is living outside the box, because things like that don't just happen every day to the average person. So I think that's super dope. Can you tell me in any other areas that you feel like you're living outside the box? So I heard you speak about your community service and giving back and mentoring. We talked about your graphics and your usher tone. Is there anything else in your life where you feel like you are absolutely living outside the box?
I feel like, okay, well, I'm also a certified yoga coach. Okay. I'm a team well-being coach. I'm a genius break coach, certified in all that through Yoga Med Co. Shout out to Dr. Susie Carmack. She is an awesome instructor. She is amazing. Yeah, so I believe in wellness too. So I think I'm living outside the box just with my mental health too. Because for me, you cannot create anything if your mental is blocked, if your spiritual is blocked, if your physical is blocked. When you feel your best in all three of those areas, that's when you create the best.
You're
So
absolutely right.
yeah, I had to. That's why I feel like I had to do it. And a lot of people see me at first and they're like, "You're a yoga instructor? You're yoga this person, yoga that." I'm about to be a yoga instructor, but I'm a yoga coach right now. But in, I would say, another month, I will officially be a yoga instructor too. And there's a difference. Like yoga coach, we facilitate and we help you through your journey. Yoga instructors, they teach you how to do your journey. So it's different. But hey, I'm doing it all. I can't
Look, I didn't even know that. You just come.
Yeah.
I used to say that I am the Jackie of all trades, because you know how they have the saying Jack of all trades. So I used to say I'm the Jackie because every time I turn around, I'm doing something different. That's the whole purpose of living outside the box. Licensed hairstylist, executive administrator, film, TV, and then a plethora of other things. Like you will never catch me in one spot. And so that's so dope to hear that you have multiple things that you are doing. And definitely with this yoga, I did not know that you did yoga, so I might have to tap in with you on that yoga.
Look, whenever you want to do some yoga, let's go.
We might have to do that. We might have to set that up. Definitely, because, and then I don't know if you know this about me. About 2 years ago, I changed my life over to a ketogenic lifestyle. And so through that journey, I lost over 60 something pounds. And so it's something that I still follow. I've slacked off, of course, with quarantine and stuff like that, but that is still something that I am currently doing to, lose weight and stuff like that. So, but you know a little bit about that because you guys got me the keto cake for my birthday. Yeah.
Right. So, no, and I encourage that all the time. Like anybody that wants to go on keto, or anybody that wants to go vegan, or anybody that wants to just like change or go to a plant-based diet where you don't necessarily give up meat, but it's not your meal every single day. I encourage that. It is very important to be as physically there and present as you can in your life. And the best way to do that is to take your mental health, your physical health, all that seriously. Like,
how do you do that?
I don't know how to explain.
I was about to say, so how do you do that when you have relatives that cook amazing Jamaican cuisine? How do you do that? Because I could definitely see.
Tell me about it.
having a hard time with the aromas coming in the house, and you got
Yes.
jerk chicken and curry chicken and rice and pea and dumpling and all of that kind of stuff. So
you're making me hungry. You're making me hungry.
And just if any of your family is watching, your aunt, listen, that food bless my whole entire soul. You hear me?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, I can't believe, because literally, so I moved here in 2015. I had not had any kind of Jamaican food since I moved here. So when y'all said that, I was like, wait, what? Yeah. And then for it to be amazing, it was too much. It just took over.
Look, everything about being a Jamaican is just lit. I would not trade that for anything in the world. The food is such a huge temptation for me. So even with the health, what I did was like, I did go vegan. I went vegetarian because vegans don't even eat dairy or anything like that. And I can't, I'm sorry, I'm not giving up my cereal. So I went vegetarian. And what I did for those couple of months is I just tried it out, tried new things, and I actually loved it. But later on, when I decided to stop being a vegetarian, I then moved to a plant-based diet. And so what I kind of consider my version of a plant-based diet is, for me, I can still eat meat. I just can't eat it every day. Because you know, in some other countries, it's like a delicacy to have meat every once in a while. So the fact that we have chicken and steak and this every single day is like, wow, this might not be too healthy for us. This might be too much. So I ate like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I tried to eat no meat, and then, or I'm sorry, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I tried to eat no meat, and then on Friday I get to splurge and have a steak or have some chicken or have. So that's how I balanced it, because I couldn't fully get rid of my Jamaican food for life.
Listen, I'm telling you, I was listening to Beanie Man, Bougie, Banton. I was listening for like the whole week. The whole week. I was like, I just don't want to get rid of this feeling. Like, I know the food is gone, but I don't want to get rid of the feeling. So I was like, oh, my daughter, poor daughter, she was like, we listening to this again? Yes, we are, and I'm turning it up too.
Yeah. I noticed that a lot of American kids, they'll listen to like Jamaican music for the first time. They're like, "What is this?" You know, they don't know it. But like when you get older and you start to be more open to different music, I'm telling you, that Jamaican vibe, that dance hall, that reggae, when it hits, it's like, oh, I can't stop moving my body. And for anybody that's not been to Jamaica.
Yeah, it's definitely different. So my background is I grew up around it. Like my personal family is not Jamaican. However, everything that's very close to me is Jamaican. So all my friends, all my like best friends and stuff like that growing up were Jamaican. And even like my childhood neighbor who lived across the street, her whole family was Jamaican. They were like second family. So it was just it was a thing. So that's why when I told you, a lot of people usually ask me, am I from an island, or am I Jamaican, or all of that stuff? And I'm like, no, I'm not. But I could understand because I've been around it for so long. So it's almost like, and not even over exaggerating or being too deep with it, but I felt like you guys in that moment gave me back a piece of me.
Right.
If you understand what I'm saying, like that. So that's why it meant so much, because it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that I put this part of me down, but y'all helped me pick it back up in that moment. So that's why it was so dope. So that's something that I am never gonna forget.
Yes, and I'm glad we got to do it for you. It was a fun night.
So. Yeah, it was real fun.
Yeah. Because you
So,
was just like, what? When we came out with the balloons. I know you saw us coming around the corner with them balloons in that case.
but it still did not even set in because you guys really, really did surprise me. Like I wasn't expecting anything. But I knew we had to have our meeting, and I was cool with that. I'm used to working. I'm used to it not being a big deal or anything like that. So you guys really did get me. You really did. Cleo didn't say anything. Nobody said anything. My daughter knew, and she didn't say anything. So I thought that was so dope. That was so dope. That was so dope. So before we wrap up, I just wanted again for you to let the people know where they can follow you. I have your Instagram up there. Do you have a YouTube?
I do have a personal YouTube channel. It's called Shawn Kel, SHAWNKEL. And you can definitely go subscribe to that YouTube channel. I think for that YouTube channel, what I really want to focus on mostly is my traveling. I have a trip coming up recently, and I want to vlog it and put it up there. Next time that I go to Jamaica, I want to vlog that and put it up there. So I really just want to get
Wait. So the next time you go to Jamaica, though, I think I will be going too.
Hey, look, the more the merrier.
Just let me know how you set that up, because I want to go too.
Yeah, absolutely. I
definitely want to go too.
Yeah.
But that would be dope. That's dope. So you use that to document all your traveling.
Pretty much. Yep.
So where else have you been? Where else?
So first I went to Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica like 4 or 5 times in my lifetime. I've been to Kingston in Jamaica. I've been to Portmore. I've been to Ocho Rios. I just been to like a lot of different parts of Jamaica, and then I also went to the Bahamas, which was very interesting because when I was in the Bahamas, that was right before Hurricane Dorian came. I left right before that came and completely laid waste to the Bahamas.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that's God right there, because I just missed that hurricane. I was just in the Bahamas. And it was funny because we were sitting there like, dang, it's raining a lot. Like, why is it raining so much here? And the clouds were gray, and even like it was very interesting how we just missed that. And I've also tried to go to Cuba because I do want to meet my relatives in Cuba as well. So I tried to go there, but they canceled that when our former president put a ban on Cuba or whatever he did. And they canceled that, which is how I ended up in the Bahamas instead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are getting ready to wrap it up tonight. Again, thank you so much, Shawn, for joining me tonight. I got to get on my other brother. Yes, go ahead.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yes.
Also, we do Tgt Outreach, so Tgt Outreach. You can find us on Instagram with that as well. And we try to send kids to camp. We did it in 2019. We were able to raise community money without, having to do too much advertisement, which was amazing. And we were able to send 9 kids to camp. We couldn't do it in 2020 because of this whole pandemic, but we're going to try and do it again. Hopefully either this summer or next summer. So if you want to reach out to me and you want to be sponsoring a child, I will link you up with a child. I will have them send you a thank you letter. You will see exactly where your money's going if you want to donate, because sending kids to camp is like $30 for a whole week of camp. So if anybody wants to help out any child and be a sponsor, then hit me up on that account and we can definitely make that happen.
That is awesome, Shawn. And I'll post that information though too. Once we're off live, I'll go back and I'll post all the information, all your social media handles and stuff like that, so that people can go and look you up. But you are a WSSU RAM as well. So if you are a student, professor, any kind of RAM family, definitely look Shawn Kelly up. It was so dope to have you on with me tonight. I will be seeing you shortly in just a little bit. But it was amazing having you on. Thank you for living outside the box with me tonight. As always, fam, I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me. Y'all know I have so much fun doing these. I love showcasing creatives, visionaries, or just anybody in general who is living outside the box. You don't have to necessarily be a creative to live outside the box, but you do have to make sure that you are being who God called you to be, being your authentic self, living in all your truths, and being very creative. I love you all. You all have an amazing night. Make sure you follow me on all my social media handles. Y'all know I'm on IG. I'm on Twitter. I am definitely on Facebook if you're watching me on Facebook. And I'm also on YouTube. Go and subscribe to my YouTube. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know the next time an episode is coming up. Stay tuned. This coming Friday, I do have my youth coming on with me. Some amazing young kids that are out here living outside the box. They're doing it up. They have YouTube channels. They have their businesses, and they are just exceeding the expectations of our youth right now. So I'm super excited about that. So make sure y'all tune in next Friday at 7 p.m. Again, it's actually Daishell, and y'all know what it is. I am gone for the evening. Y'all have a great night.